All right. Let's clap it up. Welcome. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under commanding General Yohana. This is the Baltimore School. This is the One West News Desk. We bring it to you live. We give you all the updated and the latest news, everything that's going on in Baltimore City, nationally, and some international news. You understand? So we're gonna step into a couple of little articles. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna discuss it, see how everybody's feeling out there. You know what I mean? We got a news article right here. This is straight from CNN. As you all know, President Trump has released the hounds on our brothers and sisters. You understand? He has released ICE on all our Hispanic brothers and sisters. You understand? But let me ask a question, right? Hispanics are not even the number one illegal immigrant in America. Let me say that again. Hispanics are not even the most illegal immigrants in America. And let's just be real about it. Hispanics are not illegal in America. Some of their land was taken from them. You understand? All of that down in Arizona, Texas, and all of that used to be that used to be their territory. You understand? So if we want to talk about illegal immigrants, let's start talking about them Europeans. Europeans are the real illegal immigrants, of people who steals land, of people who cons another people out of their land, of people who unalives people for their land. Let's not discuss what they did to the natives. You understand? 77 million plus, because they're still unalive. You understand? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what they're doing to the Hispanics on the border. They are the number one illegal immigrant, but let's keep it in perspective, right? The number one and the number two illegal immigrants in America are the Asians and the East Indians. That's the number one illegal immigrants in America. So let me ask a question. Why is ICE not kicking down the doors of some of these sub shops, some of these Chinese stores? Why are they not doing that? Why are they not kicking the doors in of the Dunkin' Donuts, locking up these illegal East Indians that are here? Why are they not kicking in the doors of Walmart? Because it's a plan. That's why. It's a plan against us. And we got to understand, Zephaniah 2:1 says, gather yourself together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. They're doing this the reason why they're doing this is because we are a nation of people that are not desired. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. Think about this, right? It's more than 18 nations on this planet. You have hundreds of different cultures on this planet. You got hundreds in America alone. But think about what's going on, right? Only the blacks, only the Hispanics, and only the natives are the ones that are in a living hell. All of these other nations, let's think about this, right? Just a few months ago, they caught a whole bunch of Asians coming across the Hispanic border, coming across the Mexican border with drugs, with opioids, coming across the border. They're not kicking in none of the Chinese doors. They're not dragging them out of their cars. They're not dragging them off of their jobs. Why is that? Somebody tell me why. Because we are a nation of people that are not desired. We have to understand who we are. We keep thinking this is one big melting pot. They have blinded us with the spirit of America. That one big melting pot, that's just the spirit of America. They have placed a veil over our eyes in such a way that we believe we are truly a part of America. Think about this, right? Even the blacks in America, We still fighting for civil rights. The Asians don't fight for civil rights. Those Arabs selling that Arab chicken in New York, fried chicken, Kennedy fried chicken on every Negro corner in America, they don't fight for civil rights, but they get everything that they want. Why is that? Everything that they want, they get. What's going on, sis? What's going on, Daryl Lynn? How you feeling, sis? Everything that they want, they get. We don't understand that we are not wanted in America. They want us for our abilities, but they don't want us here physically. Listen, they want us here for our ability. They want us here for our athleticism. They want us here to do the hard work. They want us here to solve their problems, but they don't want us here physically. If that be the case, why are we the only people that are being arrested and locked up at an alarming rate? See, because listen, the Hispanics are not the only ones getting tracked down by ICE. The blacks are us as black people, we get tracked down by police every day. Not to mention the natives, they on concentration camp. Those reservations that they on, those are concentration camps. If it's not a concentration camp, why do 95% of them don't have running water? Why don't they have indoor plumbing in about 60% of them? Why in the wintertime they freeze? They are freezing cold in the wintertime because they don't have heat. Listen, CNN did a report on the Native American Indians a few months ago, talking about it was one brother who had to drive. He had to drive damn near 4 hours to load up a big container, IBF container of water, and take it another 4-hour drive back. It takes him all day. He's gone away from his family all day just to get water. Show me some Asians that have to do that in America. Show me some Arabs that have to do that in America. Show me some Africans that have to do that in America. I do one better. Show me some oppressors that have to do that in America. Even the oppressors that live way out in the country, in the countryside, don't have to do that. I'm going to get into this article. Listen, this is an article by CNN. It says, we are not safe in America today. These American citizens say they were detained by ICE. Now that happens. And think about this, right? They just jumping out on anybody. ICE is just jumping out on anybody and arresting anybody who is not like them. Who is any Hispanics they see, they just arresting them. Think about this, right? That's a good way to get free labor. Even the ones that are documented, America doesn't care about them. So you can use them as free labor. Think about what's going on now. Think about all of those. Every time we talk about California, the Palisades and all of those stuff, that all of that land up in Western and upper California that was having all of those wildfires. Think about all of those wildfires. And I always say this, right? I remember when I was young, when those wildfires happened, they always had a count of the firefighters who lost their lives in those wildfires. They always had a count. It's been years since we've heard counts of firefighters' lives being lost in those fires. Guess what we did find out? We did find out that they had prisoners and prisoners from detention centers fighting those fires. They don't have to give you a count on them. Why not? Because once you become property of the state can do with you what they wish. They promise brothers, oh, we'll cut some of your time. We'll cut some of your time when you get out there and fight these fires. No time getting cut. Give you all of this training so that when you get released, you're supposed to be able to get a job fighting fires. I haven't heard of one person being released and getting a job as a firefighter yet. Listen, our oppressor is smooth with his words. Let me say that again. Our oppressor is smooth with his words. What does the scripture say? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. He'll say stuff to you to make you believe he cares about you and he cares about your well-being. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. He could care less about you. He wants you to fight those fires, and in his heart, he hopes you get unalived by those fires. Listen, they don't have to report you when you're property of the state. This is a mental note to the brothers and sisters out there, and I'm talking about the so-called blacks and Hispanics out there. This is a mental note. Understand, they don't have to report you when you're property of the state. So if they use you for something and something happens to you, who cares? That's their thought. Who cares? They could care less one way or the other. They have just gotten free labor. You are automatically placed back into legal slavery. Listen, we're in slavery today. But this is a step below. This is another step down into hell. Matter of fact, that's 2 steps into hell. We in hell right now, but that's 2 steps lower into hell. Gather yourself together, yea, gather together, O nation I desire. This is what the scripture says. A lot of us don't understand that we are people that are not desired. I can prove it to you. Every time something happens, we boo-hoo, we cry, we march and we march and we march and we march. Then somebody comes out and says, well, we're going to make a law, or we're going to send police back in for more training, and then we're happy all over again. Put out a couple of candles, put up a mural on a wall, build a statue to them, and that's it. We're happy with that. You don't see that happen to other nations. As a matter of fact, you see other nations come over here and get subsidized by America. These people are dead and dirt broke when they come over here. Dirt broke when they come over here. And yet they got every corner store, every Dunkin' Donuts, every gas station, every liquor store. They have everything shut down in our neighborhoods. So much so that this is a we shouldn't even be calling it urban neighborhoods. It should be international neighborhoods now, because we own nothing in the neighborhoods. Hey, Asians own a lot of the houses in our neighborhoods too. They own about 20% of them. Go down to City Hall and start looking up the people who own a lot of those houses. People living up in Pennsylvania, people living all the way out in Potomac. They could care less what's going on. They know they're going to make a profit off of us. Get back into this article. It says, Elzone Lemus is always on the road for work, traveling from one place to another. But ever since federal immigration officers pulled the electrician over as he was driving to his first job of the day earlier this month in Nassau County, New York. Lemus has been on high alert, limiting his travel around town out of fear, he said, despite being a U.S. citizen. Understand this. Despite him being a U.S. citizen, he gets pulled over anyway. He gets detained anyway. That's just like black people. Black people in America, we experience that every day. We can get pulled over at any time, detained at any time. They make us lose our jobs and everything. Hey, listen, America is at war with China. America is at war with Iran. America is at war with Russia. But you don't see anything happening to these Asians. You don't see anything happening to these Arabs, and you don't see anything happening to these so-called Ukrainians or whatever, and Russians or anything coming over here. This is a vacation for them. They're at war with America and come to America for vacation. They come to America on vacation to make money off of us while we're living in hell. Let me ask a question. When we going through what we're going through, where's the Asians at? Where are the Arabs at? Why do we stand up and stand with these people when these people don't stand with us? Where are the Asians at right now? These Hispanics being locked up by ICE agents. Where the Asians at right now? Because everybody knows the Asians have them in the back of their stores cooking now. They getting locked up. Where the Arabs at? The Arabs got them too. They in the back of the Arab. They in the back of the hip hop chickens. Hip hop chicken got Hispanics all in the back cooking. You don't see none of them Chinese stores getting kicked in. You don't see none of those hip hop chickens getting raided. None of them. East Indians got the Hispanics in there too. In the Dunkin' Donuts. When we gonna wake up? Look, it says on June 3rd, Lemus says he was briefly detained during a traffic stop by federal agents because he resembled someone the agents were looking for. And they always say that he resembles somebody. Whoever they pull over, they always say that you resemble somebody we're looking for. It's like saying all black people look alike, all Hispanic people look alike, all Native people look alike. That's their way of saying that. Just so they can pull you over. And think about it. Out of all the nations that are in America, why is it only happening to the blacks, Hispanics, and natives? Why are we the only people going through hell in America? Why is that? Out of all of the nations of people that are over here, you got Greektown, you got Little Italy, you got Chinatown. You got them everywhere. You understand? The East Indians got their part of town. The Asians got their part of town. Everything. None of these people are getting deported. None of these people get deported. Somebody tell me why. Because we are the nation of people that are not desired in America. Scriptures tell us that. Listen, it says, okay, I'm gonna start back over. So June 3rd, Lemus says he was briefly detained during a traffic stop by federal agents because he resembled someone the agents were looking for. They told him and video from the encounter shows Lima's arrest and others' report of American citizens being detained by immigration officials highlights growing concern over racial profiling and constitutional rights. But this is a part of America. Racial profiling is a part of America. Stop and frisk, which they're trying to bring back. That's part of America. That's part of America. Racial profiling is America. This is what America does. For both the documented and the undocumented, as the Trump administration broad mass deportation crackdown takes aim at the people of all ages, from children and families to suspected criminals, by detaining people outside courtroom hearings, during traffic stops and workplace sweeps. Listen, check this out. Out of everybody that has been detained, I have heard of 2 criminal cases of people who were actually supposed to be criminals. One, I'm not keyed on, and they have one possible. The one brother that they sent all the way to, I think, was El Salvador, and brought him back. They didn't even charge him with what they said he was a criminal for. Charge him with a whole nother other charge. Welcome to America. This is America. This is what America does. Listen, it says it's not legal for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement to arrest and detain U.S. citizens. CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson said, but under certain circumstances, immigration officers can arrest citizens without a warrant if they witness an offense against the United States or a felony offense. Now, let me ask you a question. When has ICE agents investigated or witnessed any kind of criminal activity? ICE, what they call them? ICE agents only come just to sweep people up. That's it. They don't go out looking for crime. They're not crime fighters. They are criminals themselves. Think about it. They just started seeing people now dressing up. I got an article on there, dressing up as ICE agents, scooping up illegals or scooping up Hispanics. I ain't even gonna say they're illegals. Our oppressor. This is the oppressor, dressing up like he's an ICE agent. Now think about it. How do you dress up like an ICE agent? All you have to do is put on a mask. You don't have to wear a badge. You don't have to identify yourself. All you need is a mask and a gun. That's a criminal. ICE agents are nothing but criminals. Criminals that work for America. This is nothing but another terrorist organization by America. They're doing nothing any different than what terrorists do. Terrorists terrorize people. It's just another extension of America's terrorist arm. It's not legal for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement to arrest and detain U.S. citizens. Legal analyst Joey Jackson said, but under certain circumstances, immigration officers can arrest citizens without a warrant if they witness an offense against the United States. What's an offense against the United States, and how do you witness it? How do you witness somebody being an illegal when you don't know if they're illegal or not? What are you witnessing? What are you witnessing that you can arrest them without a warrant? What are they doing that you can arrest them that you would possibly need a warrant for? These are the questions that I want to know. Because automatically you see him and you know, oh, I can arrest him because he's done something illegal against America. But you're not saying what he did illegal against America to stop or detain him in the beginning. This is what racial profiling is. Otherwise, their powers are regulated to immigration matters according to federal law. So if their powers are regulated to immigration matters, how do you know if the people you're stopping are illegals or not? You should already know that, right or wrong. They should know. When you arrest somebody, you have to arrest somebody or detain somebody who you know has done a crime. So how do you know that these people that you're arresting are illegal? Just like this brother right here, he was legal, but they arrested him anyway. Racial profile. Racial profiling 101. Niggas in America know that. We know that. We know that better than anybody in America. We know all about racial profiling. That's why we all think we jailhouse lawyers, because we know a lot about it. We've been going through it for a long time. The only thing we do is say, welcome to the party. But when it happens, this is what the scriptures tell us: gather together, O nation not desired. We have to come together. Black and brown people have to come together on one accord under the Most High. That's the way we're going. That's the way we're going to be delivered from this. Says Lemus and his co-workers had just left their boss's home earlier this month when they were pulled over by officers. Look, he's just coming from his boss's house. What illegal act has he done coming from his boss's house? When they were pulled over by officers, he told CNN, with Lemus' co-worker at the wheel of their work vehicle, a work vehicle. They were in a work vehicle. And the 23-year-old in the passenger seat, agents approached their window simultaneously and asked for identification without providing any of their own, Lemus said. Now, this is the crazy thing, right? Because we all know about kidnapping. Kidnapping's been happening since the beginning of America, because we know who our kidnappers are. You know, blacks, we know who the kidnappers were. We know where we were kidnapped from and where we got brought to. You understand? This is nothing new to our oppressor in America. It says, you look like someone we're looking for. Again, racial profiling, right? They say we all look alike. Well, they say Hispanics all look alike too. They say all natives look alike too. Just before they snatch you and abduct you. Think about all the missing Hispanic women that have been going on for the last couple of years. Think about all the sisters, the black females, women and girls missing over the years. Think about all the Native American women missing on those reservations. Gather together, O nation not desired. We have to understand that we are a people who are at war. We're in an open air prison camp in America. An open air prison camp in America. That thing that was happening over in Gaza, that's nothing compared to what we have been going through for the last almost 500 years right here in America. That's a walk in the park in Gaza. We got to start looking out for our own, because nobody's going to look out for us but us. You don't see Asians. Asians don't have this problem. Arabs don't have this problem. The Africans, they don't have this problem. No other nation of people over here have this problem but us. We gotta start understanding who we are as a people. It says, listen, it says, if we don't get your ID, then we're going to have to figure out another way to ID you, and that may not work out well for you. The officer speaking with Lehman says on video. They don't have to identify themselves, but you have to identify yourself. Lehman said he was handcuffed and searched for at least 25 minutes. How long does it take for you to search a person? Until officers found his identification before he was released. The electrician believes he was pulled over because he and his co-worker look Hispanic, a community that has often been targeted by Trump's mass deportation. Under the Fourth Amendment, Americans are protected from random searches unless law enforcement has probable cause to believe they're involved in criminal activity. Now, this is the thing that we've been told for years. Those laws are for the oppressor and those other nations of people that come over here. But for blacks, Hispanics, and natives, those laws are null and void. That's something that they say to make us feel good. That's something they say just to make us feel good. And then when it happens to us, we want to dictate the law. You have to have problems, blah, 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 blah. We have to have, you can't, blah, 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 blah. And nothing happens. That's rhetoric. That's something just to look good on paper. That's something to make you believe in America. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. That's all it does. Think about it, right? We're the only people still over here fighting for civil rights. Every other nation of people come over here automatically get civil rights. You don't see Asians, you don't see Arabs, you don't see Africans at the voting polls. We at the voting polls every 2 and every 4 years because we still fighting for civil rights. They still promising you. They still you have the right. You have the right. You're a citizen. You're a citizen. You're not a citizen of America. You're a prisoner of America. You're a prisoner of war. We are all prisoners of war. This is the reason why Commander General Yohanna tells us that we all have to stand together. We have to pull ourselves out of America. America doesn't run on Duncan. America runs on blacks and Hispanics. When are we going to wake up? Nothing gets done in America without blacks and Hispanics. Nothing. Think about all of those canning companies that the Hispanics work at. Think about all the grueling work that black people do. What if we was all to stop today? What would happen? What would happen? America would fall to pieces because our oppressor definitely not going to do that work. Our oppressor, that's the laziest llama being on the planet, our oppressor. Somebody tell me a white person you seen work hard. You see a white person work hard, and when they do work hard, it ain't our kind of hard. We look at them like that ain't nothing. Listen, we deserve to sit around and rest. We deserve it. Listen, gather yourself together. When it says gather together, it means come together, but be on the same accord. We've seen a lot of programs where people have come together and those things have not worked. Because when we come together, we never come together on one accord. The scriptures tell us when you gather together, we have to come together on one accord. That's in Acts chapter 4, verse 31 and 35. When those people came together and they built each other up and they gave as everybody needed so that nobody was in need, That's because they came together on the same accord. See, we come together with our own agenda. And when you come together with 100 agendas, 100 different agendas, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. And we see that. We've seen that. Gather yourself together, O nation not desired. Listen, the scriptures also tell us they are confederate against us. What does it mean to be confederate? To be confederate means to do something illegal or illicit against a people or a person. The things that they do to us, the way that they disenfranchise us, the way that they move us and push us out of business, the way that we have no industries over here, but we have to depend on our oppressor and all the heathen nations for everything that we want. The way that we have to go to the oppressor for work, we have to go to the heathens when we want to eat. We have to go to everybody but our own people. We have no industries in America. We have been disenfranchised in America. It says that they are confederate against us. They have come together with one consent. They understand that although they're at war with each other, they have to come together just for this single purpose. And that's to keep us on the bottom so that they can continue to be on the top. When are we going to figure this thing out? I mean, it's really not a hard thing to figure out. When you start to look and you see other people not suffering in the ways that we do. Listen, when you see the people not suffering at all, because I have yet to see the Asians sleeping on the street. I have yet to see the Arabs sleeping on the street. I've never seen an African sleeping on the street. Never seen the Greeks sleeping on the street. I've never seen the Italians sleeping on the street. I do see blacks, Hispanics, and natives right there on the streets. They're on the streets of America. When are we going to wake up and understand that we are a family of people? We are a nation of people. Listen, we're a nation in captivity by another nation. And the thing about it is, they ride the backs of us to make the nation go. Number one consumers in America are blacks and Hispanics because we don't have anything else over here but work. And then the money that we get right back to our oppressor and the heathen nations. We don't give it to our own people. We look at these stores that we go into and we think, oh, the Hispanics own these stores, but they're not owned by the Hispanics, they're owned by the Asians. A lot of these stores, when you go in and you start speaking to these Hispanics and you ask them who owns it, they say the little Chinese man up the street, the little Asian up the street around the corner. Had a little fish spot on the corner right down the street from the school. We thought the Hispanics owned it. Come to find out, the Hispanic, the Asian, and his wife owned it and had them working in there. Had them doing all the cooking. That's why it was so good. That's why it was so good. You see that good that the Asians eat? You see that good that the Asians eat? And you be saying, like, how did they be making soul food? Because they stealing and got our people in the back cooking that food. Asians don't cook like that. They don't know how to season food like we do. You know, there's some Hispanics in the back doing that. They got tired of hiring niggas. We in the back cooking and eating at the same time. Forget that. You don't pay us enough just to cook. Listen, we got to wake up and we got to understand that we are the power of America. We are the backbone and the strength of America. And until we stand up, this is the condition that we're going to be in. And think about it, right? Right now, we are actually in World War III right now. World War III is already underway. It's already underway. The bombs are already flying. The lies and everything are already on the table. It's about to go straight to hell. And we still the only people in the blind. The Bible been telling us for years, gather together, come together, build yourself up. Like I said, you read that Acts, the 4th chapter, the 35th, the 31st through the 35th verse, 31 to 35. Read that. That's how you build a nation. That's how you build your people up. We got to stop giving our money away to Paris. You understand? Something happens in another European nation, Poland or Ireland, or something happens over there, a flood happens over there in Pakistan or something like that, and we sending our money over there when people dying right here on our streets. Our people dying right here on the streets. We got to help us, because no other nation is going to help us but us. All these other nations, they come with their hands out looking for donations, and we giving it to them. But when we got our hands out, no nation comes to our defense or our comfort. Nobody comforts us. That's why we got to stop comforting these other nations. You see what the heathen and you see what the oppressor doing to our people right now with these ICE agents. You see what's happening to us with the police. We got to wake up. We got to take care of us. We all we got. Everybody know that saying, we all we got. Everybody know the saying. So if you know the saying, let's put it into work. And with that, that's the end of One West News Desk. We'll have to shut it down for a couple of minutes and get ready for the history class. You understand? History class gonna be start a little bit late, right a little bit after 7 o'clock. I'm gonna change everything over, and I'm gonna come back to the people on TikTok, and I'm gonna come back to this YouTube, and we're gonna get it cracking with the history class. All right. With that, shalom, Israel. See these. Get it here.